everybody, Wayne here. In today's Let's Play, I'm playing through a scenario from Shiloh the First Day, designed by Steve Carey and published by Revolution Games. This is the 11th game in the Blind Sword series of American Civil War war games. Now this is a 2-player war game, however it does utilize chip pull, makes it very solitaire friendly, so I will be playing through this scenario solo. Let's get on the table where I'll show you the scenario, I'll show you the setup, I'll tell you a little bit of how the game works, and then we'll dive into the gameplay. Alright, first off, I'm going to start off kind of zoomed out here when I get to the playthrough, which will be in just a little bit. I'll zoom in a little bit closer to the map, okay guys? So, alright, I have everything set up here for the very first scenario in the game, which is Colonel Stuart's defense. So this is Colonel Stuart of the Union, his defense of the Union left flank. So you have the Tennessee River would have been right up somewhere around here. He's holding the left flank against a much larger Confederate force. Stuart, only has a couple regiments available. He does have, there's some additional Union regiments, however, they're held in reserve at the start of the battle. So you have to see the play area right here. You have 51st Ohio, 55th Illinois, 71st Ohio, who are the ones who will take off the first time some fighting happens. And then you have, like I said, a few other regiments that are held in reserve until they are activated. How they're activated is the Confederates, which I'll cover in a second, either engage them in combat, fire combat, or move within 2 hexes right here. So, Union, they're just trying to hold strong. So this is a good solitaire scenario. They're trying to hold the line, hold off the Confederates as long as they can. This scenario, by the way, is only 3 turns. It takes place at 11 a.m., 11:30, and noon turn. The rebels over here, you have Withers Division. You have 2 brigades. You have Chalmers and Jackson. You have a couple artillery batteries. The Union only has 1 artillery battery. It's right here, and it's not activated, like I said, until the rebels get close. So it's likely not going to come into play too much. The rebels, they get to use artillery a little bit at least. The rebels, obviously, you can see have a stronger force, but they only have 3 turns to push the Union back and take control of these various camp hexes, inflict casualties on the Union, and then a Union headquarters hex here as well. So you can see some victory point locations. I believe there's a couple more. Oh, there's one right here where 55th Illinois is. So Confederates, they want to take those, earn victory points, along with causing losses. Same with the Union. They want to hold as long as they can, and they want to inflict losses on the rebels. In this scenario, and Blind Swords is chip pull, in this scenario, you're only going to have, for the Union, the Colonel Stuart leader chit to activate. We're going to have the Fog of War, which can cause a random event to happen. The rebels will get Withers for division commander, which, flip him over, he will then be able to activate right. Chalmers and Jackson's, Chalmers and Jackson's are the one involved in this actual scenario. Put him in there as well. And then the Union will get 1 event chit out of this list of 3 over here. The rebels will get 2 out of the 4, so yes, they do have an additional 1. I do mine randomly. Technically, you would do 1 random for the Union, and then the Confederate player would pick 1, and then 1 random. I'm going to go ahead and just do random for all of them. It'll make it a little bit more fair as a solitaire experience. I'm trying to think here. Yep, and there is from W.H. Wallace's division. These are currently the no activated. That is MacArthur, which again is going to be the brigade, along with Sweeney. He was detached and assigned to him. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and dive into the playthrough. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on how the game works. I have done many videos. Check out Prelude to Vicksburg. Check out Longstreet Attacks. Check out Thunder at Dawn. I have done some very popular how to play Blind Sword series videos. Check out those games on my channel. Just search them on my channel. You'll find lots of playthroughs and lots of examples of how Blind Swords works. Here, we're just going to go ahead and dive into the playthrough. I'll explain things as I go, but other than that, yeah, let's dive into it. All right, before we begin, I just want to point out that I guess the only thing unique maybe that I do here is I do use these colored bingo markers to denote whether something is shaken. So the yellow will be shaken, -1 SP, -1 cohesion rating, or red for disrupted, -2 SPs, -2 cohesion rating. This allows me to place these on top of the units. You can see we have two rebel 2 rebel regiments and then 1 Union regiment are shaken. This allows me to do that as opposed to sliding them under the counters and moving around a lot. Okay, first off, I have created the draw cup. Sequence of play, command decision phase, so it is 11 a.m., first turn of Colonel Stuart defense scenario. Let's begin. So, command decision phase, both players choose the event chits, or in the scenario, like I said, this case, it'll actually be, I'm doing it random, and the Union would be random anyway, and I set up the draw cup. All right, then you go into the artillery phase. Normally it is the Union artillery step first. However, there's only 1 Union artillery battery, and it can't activate until the rest of the brigade activates. So we go to the Confederates here. Confederates have a couple batteries. They have gauges, mixed battery over here, and then a 6-strength smoothbore battery of cannons right here. They do have elevation advantage, and they're definitely going to be able to shoot down at the Union here. So let's go ahead and do that. So starting off, let's just choose gauges here and go ahead and launch an attack. Now, fire or move, right? So what you can do. So we're going to do a fire. I think I'm going to target this hex right here. Now, there's a couple things. There's some unique parts, and I'll try to remember all of them for Shiloh. The first one is that in Shiloh, Confederates and, artillery in general can shoot out of woods. So maybe I should have covered this on the preview here, but that's okay now. Now we're zoomed in on the map, maybe it'll be easier. You have a lot of woods hexes. So all of these sort of the light green, those are trees. These are all woods. The heavy darker green, those are going to be heavy woods. You have some swamp hexes. You have just a couple clear hexes, a couple orchards, a couple peach orchards. So they are in the woods. Traditionally, blind swords can't fire artillery out of woods just because you won't be able to get in position. The woods, regular woods, are a little bit lighter than maybe a traditional woods would be, so they are able to fire out of them, but they can only fire 3 SPs. So you max out whatever the number is. So in this case, instead of 4, it's going to be 3. So you start your calculations from 3, and then you work your way down. All right, so a fire combat, gauge, battery, shooting at the 54th Ohio over here. What do we got? Well, the target is the target in woods or anything? Nope, the target is in clear. Well, first off, you want to check line of sight, which they do have because the artillery is in a 4, and you can see these numbers here. Those are elevation, so he's at elevation 4, so he can definitely see him because he is at elevation, is it 2? No, he must be at elevation 3. He's at elevation 3, so he is higher than him, so you can also shoot over these units, by the way, because they're down on elevation 1. So, target is in clear. Is he fighting over dense woods or marsh? Yes, he is. That's 1 column shift to the left, so the 3, remember because it's a 3, drops to a 2. Is it orchard? No, it's just clear. Out of dense woods, you won't be able to do it. Firing over a unit, yep. So the 2 drops to a 1. And that's it. So it's 1. So all he has is 1 strength for the roll. So we roll on our CRT. A 51. That's not too bad. Let's see for 1 if that'll do anything. 51 under 1. So if his cohesion rating is up to 2, it'll be a routine test. His cohesion rating is a 2, so it's listed as a 3, but he has no unit support, right? You also have to have a unit to provide support to get that true number. So it's actually -1, so it's actually a 2. So there is going to be a routine fire combat cohesion test. So we'll go ahead and roll in the chart. 64, beautiful. So a 6 on the depletion, that is depleted, a depletion result. And then 4 is going to be retreat 1. So 54th Ohio is actually depleted. So there, if we flip them over to the battle-worn side, and they have to retreat 1, they're going to go ahead and they have to retreat either north or east. So he's going to go, is it east? I believe, well, I know here's what we're going to head north. There we go. Head north anyway. Boom. Obviously, there's no advance, nothing like that. This wasn't a close combat. This was just fire from the artillery. So we rolled really well. Rebels rolled really well to push back the 54th Ohio and cause some damage to him. So that's first time it's happened in one of my playthroughs here, I'll tell you that. All right, so I'm going to conduct another combat with Jackson here. He's going to go ahead and shoot at, let's see, where is he aiming? Let's shoot at the 55th Illinois here of Stuart. So remember, we max out at 3. Target is in an orchard, actually, right? Yep, I think that'll count as an orchard. So, and he is in woods? No, that doesn't matter. So, fighting over woods or marsh, yes. So that 3 becomes a 2. Firing over units. Yep. So that 2 becomes a 1. And then firing, let's see, is it into an orchard? Into or through an orchard, 1. So that becomes C. So I actually don't know. Can he fire at a C? Let me double check in the rules. All right, yep, with a C on the chart, he still gets to fire. Obviously, he doesn't have a great chance. He got to roll really high, but we'll see what happens. By the way, as always, like I said, looking at line of sight, you also want to check the range. I know that they have the range. For instance, the mixed cannon has an effective range of 6 hexes, which 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the smoothbore cannon actually has a range of 6 also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I knew they were well within range because I've played this scenario a couple times now. So, all right, so let's go ahead and roll on the C. What do we get? 53. Okay, that's not bad. It would have to be only a 1, though, which his is only 1 because he is unsupported. So that is actually going to be a routine fire combat cohesion test table. Here we go. 46. 4 is not anything. Bummer there for the Rebs. But a 6 is a morale hit and retreat 2. So Stuart was shaken. He will now become disrupted. And he will retreat 2. So he's going to go ahead and retreat back to the camp here. He'll just follow the road. All right. So he is now on this camp hex there. Brutal for the rebels here. So again, it would have been back and forth, but the Union only has the 1 cannon and they can't fire yet. So 1 cannon battery. All right. So that is it for the artillery phase. You know, you would do artillery rally rebuild if you had waited, which we don't need to do. We didn't do. So now you go to the chit draw phase, which is where we will draw from the actual cup here. All right. Chit draw phase. Here we go. And oh, Rebel command event, firefight. Okay, so we're going to be able to pick a Rebel regiment here and conduct a fire combat. Let me double check. So the nice thing about this game does come with a nice little player aid for both sides with all the events on it. So firefight, all friendly infantry units in any 1 hex may conduct fire combat against 1 enemy target hex, following normal combat rules. And then if there's anyone left in the hex, they get to shoot back. Now, unfortunately, though, I'm looking. There's going to possibly be... Oh, I don't think there's going to be any combat here. Unfortunately, everyone is too far away. So, smoothbore, right? So, all of Jackson's brigade down here, they are smoothbore infantry. Smoothbore muskets. They have an effective range of 1. They have a long range of 2. 1, 2, which they can't even reach. Extreme long range. And then we do have rifled muskets over here, which can reach up to 2 or 3, but he's at the edge of elevations. He's at 1, and that's a 2, and he's up there on 3, and then same with him, and then he's farther back from that. So elevation would be blocking here. So we have no line of sight. So unfortunately, that is a wasted chit, and I believe, can you hold it, though, maybe? Maybe the... Play now or hold this chit to be played at any chit draw phase this turn. Ooh, that's not bad. So actually, the Rebels are going to go ahead. We'll just set it right there. As a little reminder, we can play that. So, all right, next chit. Dun-dun-dun. Colonel Stuart for the Union. Okay, see what they can do here. So let's move that over a little bit so we know. All right, Colonel Stuart. So first off, we drew the division / brigade. In this case, I guess it would be... Oh, brigade. Well, yeah. Brigade activation chit. Proceed to phase 4, which is rolling and then giving orders. So we're going to roll for his activation. He only has a 3, so we want a 3 or less. If it's a Union, we want 3 or less. A 1. Awesome. So we get a full activation, so we can give any of the orders. And as of this turn, I believe all orders are available anyway. So you can give any order we want to, well, at least Stuart's brigade here. Remember, they can't give an order here until they're activated. So... All right, so we're success. We get a full activation. If we had failed it, we probably would have done a fallback order, which is a new order. So I don't get to play it in the game. I just want to explain it quick. Fallback is a new order that's in Shiloh. It is a USA only, Union only order. So if you fail the brigade activation roll, you can give the fallback order if at least 1 unit is in any camp, dot or headquarters hex or adjacent to a headquarters hex. Now looking at the map here, you can see all these dots. Those are where sort of parts of camps are. You can see the camps where the actual little like tents are set up, and I have camp control markers there as well. I believe here, down here there's another camp. So all of these would allow, so if we had a failed activation, we still wanted to maybe do the fallback. Fallback order, super simple. It's basically a 2 hex retreat, not 2 movement point, 2 hex. So it doesn't matter what movement is. You just go ahead and retreat them back, get them out of harm's way. So, but we did have a full activation for the Union, so they are good to go. Let's go ahead and do, now looking at it though, we gotta do some recovery. We gotta get, so I'm even trying to think, should I do a regroup, or should I do a regroup? It wouldn't be able to move at all though, because I'm kind of thinking they should consolidate, maybe get him out of there. But we do want to hold them back, don't we? So let's do that. So let's do a regroup order. So we'll give a regroup order, which is always with blind swords. You have attack, defend, maneuver, regroup, and then in this game, fall back. Attacking, you can move, engage, do fire combat, all that good stuff. Defending, you can engage and move in fire combat, but no close combat. Maneuver, you're just maneuvering around with a bunch of extra movement points. Regroup, no movement, no fire, no combat, nothing. You're just going to do the rally, recover, and try to rebuild your units. With that, so we skip fire combat, we skip movement, we skip close combat, we go to the rally step. So now, rally here for rally and rebuilding. Infantry must belong to the currently active brigade, of course. Let's see here. Activate is under regroup or defend order. 3 hex away from an enemy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, it is 3 hexes away. For recovery, remove 1 morale hit. If it's defend order, if it's regroup order, remove all of its morale hits. So, 50th Illinois, that was disrupted. Not anymore. Good there. And then for rebuilding, Stuart here, not much of a chance of rebuilding. We can try. So we're going to roll a die, compare it to its battle worn side, and its cohesion rating is a 2, but its modified is only a 1. Remember, it lacks any unit support. If it's less than or equal, it's successful. It'll flip to its fresh side. So we got to get a 1. Oh, bummer. That's too bad. So that's a fail on that. There's no negative consequences as far as I'm aware. So, hey, at least we got some disrupted gone. I wish we'd got that rebuilt. That would have been pretty cool. But, all right. So that is it for the Colonel Stuart. Go ahead and I'll just set him aside. And now, throw another one. Now we can see if the rebels, you can say, well, do you want to shoot? Like, nope, we're still not in a great position for fire combat, so we'll ignore that for now. Next chit. Withers. All right, so this is the, right, rebel. I took another chit with me in my hand. This is the rebel here. Let's go ahead and roll to see what kind of activation you get. So 5 or less for them. A 5. Okay, just did it. So he can give any order. And Withers down here, right, he has Chalmers and Jackson. So Chalmers and then Jackson. He can give any order he wants to any of them. So what we're going to go ahead and do is start getting, should Chalmers or Jackson? Probably start getting Jackson moving, huh? So yeah, he's going to give Jackson an attack order. So, and let's go ahead and we'll leave him there for a set now. All right, let's do an attack order. So, fire combat first. Again, he's not able to do any fire combat, I don't believe at all, based on silent sight and then ranges. Nope. So we're going to skip that. We'll do movement, though. Now, with fire combat, an attack order, the infantry has 6 movement points. It's going to be a little tough, though, going off some of these. We have some pretty bad. Yeah, I'm just looking at it here. So you can see the hex side, steep slopes here. So these are regular slopes are the brown, and then the black is the steep slope. So for instance, for the 2nd Texas Regiment here to move into, we'll probably look at this hex here. That will be Texas to move there. He'll be moving up a steep, so he'll be into woods, which is 2. He's moving up a steep slope, which is an additional 2, so that's a total of 4. And then, because it is a dot hex, I believe it adds an additional +1. It does, that's 5. So he will have 1 movement point left after that. So, all right, so he's going to go ahead and move up into the dot hex. And then, now, dots are fine. He's good there. He has 1 movement point left, which conceivably could, he can't move into the camp, I don't believe, because the camp is +1/+1. So he's actually stuck there. So all he could do was that one hex movement, basically. All right. 19th Alabama here. He's going to go ahead and move. That's into clear. So that is 1. And it's just like a shallow slope, gentle slope, so no effect on there. So 1. And then he can do 2, 3. I know I'm like question mark. 2, 3 up into here. He'll stop there. He now is engaged with 55th Illinois. All right, 18th Alabama will go 1, and then 2, 3, and then I don't think he's gonna be able to go up. 4, 5, 6, and then the slope 7. Nope, he can't. So he's stuck there. 17th Alabama will go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. So it'll be a total of 5 here, and then he's gonna be stopped there. Okay, all right, we got a little bit of movement. So now we have the close combat step if we want. 19th Alabama is not going to engage in any close combat at the moment. He is going to stand strong. All right, so Withers, we go ahead. Now we activated Jackson's brigade here. So we move the marker down to activated, just to show. Now you say, are there any left? Yep, Chalmers' brigade can still be activated, so Withers is going to go back into the cup. Is that it for that? Yep, so that's it. So now we go ahead and draw again. All right, now before we draw, the rebels are going to use their firefight chit. So, firefight event. All friendly infantry in any one hex may conduct fire combat against one enemy target hex. Apply results immediately. It's regular fire combat. If any enemy units remain in the target hex, all those units may fire back. So it's a little bit questionable, a little bit risky, but we're going to do it anyway. 19th Alabama is going to fire at the 55th Illinois here. See what they can do. So we will set the chit aside here. All right, so fire combat, total strength points starts off at 10. Work our way down the fire combat shifts. The target is in a camp hex. I don't believe that has any modifiers. We're not firing over anything. We're adjacent. And the nice thing is that, I guess it won't help there. Well, that's only in close combat. The smooth bore. In fact, he's a smooth bore. Nope, so no help there. But other than that, I'm not seeing any modifiers. So, I'm surprised there's not one for camp. But I don't see it on the fire. I don't see it on the CRT, the table. So, hey, it is what it is. So, let's go ahead. We have a 10. So, let's go ahead and roll down the 10 to 11. And our defender here is going to have a full 2, I believe. Nope. This 71st Ohio is in the woods, so you can't provide support. So, it's actually only going to be a 1 cohesion rating. Oh, 22. It may not matter, though. So, 10 to 11 on a 22. Is 1 to 2. Okay, yep. So it is going to be a routine. So just a routine. And 25. The 2 has no effect for depletion. The 5 does cause a retreat at 2. Oh man, bummer for them. So you go ahead and retreat 1, 2. Back to the woods here. Oh man, that's a bummer for you. They're getting pushed back here. Bunch of retreat results. Yeah, the fire, well, it did cause some losses up here on the 54th Ohio, but still, definitely pushing back the Union here. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold the line. It's not looking good for the Union here, folks. All right. Since the unit did not remain in the hex, he can't return fire. Plus, he wouldn't be able to anyway because of line of sight reasons. So, all right, so that was it for the firefight. So, on to the next chit. Keep drawing. We still got some more in here. Boom, Fog of War. Uh-oh. So, Fog of War, what we'll do, check this little chart here. Scenario 16.1 Fog of War table. We'll go ahead and roll on that. So a D6, a 1, no effect. All right, there we go. Get out of here. All right, keep drawing. What else we got? Oops. All right, and skirmishers. Okay, so skirmishers is the one I think I'd mentioned earlier. I may have cut that part of the video. So skirmishers. I do some editing. What can I say? I do a lot of editing on these videos. Choose a hex within 3 hexes of one of your infantry units. It doesn't matter. Conduct a 1 strength fire. Ignore line of sight, terrain, all of that. So, obviously looking at too many of these and a bunch of these, like, there's a lot of options here. I think the rebels, or the Union, excuse me, want to push back maybe him right here to kind of keep or should I do it here? Yeah, let's do him right here. So they want to push him back because he's kind of in the lead here, about to start taking some of these camp hexes. So They're going to fire at the 19th Alabama. So it's a 1 SP, and you just roll and see what happens. 46. Ooh, could be good for him. All right, so I said it was 1. 46 is a 0 to 1. He has a 4. Oh, he has a 4, though. Oh, they should have picked one with a lower cohesion rating. So that's going to be no effect on him, unfortunately, for the Union. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. All right, next chit. Let's roll, baby. Withers, here we go. See the activation. He's a 5 or less. 4. So full activation. He's going to activate, obviously, Chalmers Brigade. He's going to give them an attack order. Trying to see they can do fire combat? No, they can't. That's right. We already established that. They're not going to be able to do a fire combat, at least as far as I'm looking at it right now. So, but I give them an attack order because I want them to get moving here. So, start off at the top here, the 10th Mississippi. Get them moving here. So that'll be 1, 2, and then 3 right there. So you can move there. 1, 2. You'll stop there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop there. And then this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's it. 4 and move up. And then he can move there. 5, 6. Or should he move there? We can follow the road. I know I'm trying. What should I do? Move here. All right, perfect. Get a little surrounded him here. Okay, so completed movement. It's now close combat if we want it, which we definitely are going to have close combat. We will pick the 7th Mississippi here as the lead unit for the close combat. So we use his 10 SPs. And now we'll check for outnumbering, which it's 3 to 1. So that's 3 to the right. So the 10, which actually it's only 9, excuse me, with 8 to 9, becomes 1, 2, 3, becomes 14 to 16. Cohesion rating is higher. So 17 to 19. Smoothbore? Nope. Defender on higher slope. He is. So not higher steep slope though. It's just a regular one. Hang on. Higher side of slope. Defender on lower side of. Higher side of slope. Would it be a gentle slope as well? Or just a regular slope? This is going to be a regular one, so that's no effect because it's a gentle slope here. Yeah, that'll be it. So 14 to 16. All right, let's see what we can do. 61. Oh my God. So 14 to 16 on a 61 is going to be a severe. So severe close combat. 53. That is a D2, depletion 2, which would be basically 2 units in this hex would be depleted. And then the 3 here is 2 morale hits and retreat all 2. So first off is depleted. Obviously, he has only 2 cohesion rating or 1. So we need to see for depletion result if he is going to be broken. So you do a break test, which we roll 1 die, compare it to his CR, his cohesion rating. Remember, it's a 1. So you roll a 4. If equal or less than a CR, the unit is given a morale hit. If it's 1 or more, remove any morale markers, place the unit on its battle worn side onto the broken track at that number. So 3 greater than, so he is broken, and he goes into broken box 3 over here. So he got his butt kicked. Now we did advance after combat. We could advance 2 hexes. So we'll go ahead and advance and advance. Advance here. I don't think, fortunately, when I'm looking at stacking, we only can stack up to 12. So all these units are too large for a bunch of stacking. So 1, 2, should I put them here? Yeah, well, I know. Like, let's leave them there, right here. Okay. All right. So we got a little bit of advance after combat. Poised. Chalmers Brigade is poised to advance on the rebels and their camps and victory point locations here. So, all right, that is it for Withers. Set him aside. He's all done. And 1 chit left, which is a rebel rally. Oh, beautiful. So they're going to go ahead and use that right away here, and which is allow them to rally right here and get rid of that shaken marker. Okay, end phase. So something that is new for Shiloh is the wrecked brigades rule. So I was about to explain the wrecked rule. It would not apply in this case anyway. Also, the wrecked rule is not used in scenario 16.1. So Shiloh has a lot of those like special rules, but then sometimes they're used in some scenarios. Sometimes they only come into play at certain times. Yeah, I can kind of lose track. I'll talk about that more in my review. But it doesn't apply anyway. But just so you guys know, so wrecked rule is a new step in the end phase. You check for wrecked brigades. What it would be is if it's in that scenario, if every unit, if every regiment is either on the broken track or is depleted, even if on the map, then that brigade becomes wrecked. The wreck marker is placed on them. There may be some other. I think you can't activate the regiments. I think they have to retreat. You can read the rules yourself, but basically there's a difference. Sort of if like you can't just have this brigade is 90% destroyed, but we're still fighting on. Assuming that every regiment has suffered some sort of loss, you're going to have issues with the wrecked brigades rule. But it doesn't apply right now. So final held event shit. Nope, there are none. We use them all up. We don't do the victory point award step that happens at the end of the scenario. So we'll be flipping the brigade markers over to available, broken track adjustment, and we'll gather the shits together, fill up the cup, and we're going to go on to the 11:30 a.m. turn. So turn 2 of 3 in the Colonel Stuart defense scenario. All right, like I said, start of turn 2, 11:30 a.m. turn. All right, first off, command decision phase, right? Event shits and set up draw cup, get all random everything. So we will see what happens. Artillery phase, first for the Union, but they are not activated yet. Won't be activated until suffer any combat losses, attacked, fire combat, or the rebels get within this line of hexes right here. Confederate artillery, we got a couple artillery, right? We have gauges and Girardays, smoothbores, and mixed cannons, batteries. Unfortunately for the rebels, they're not going to be able to attack. So with the reduced to 3, right, firing out of woods rule, and then the sort of the ranges combined with firing over units combined with where the units are. Basically, you do the math for fire combat shifts, and they will not have enough strength points to attack. So they can move though, right? So you can see if they can get close enough. I'm trying to think maybe from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He may be able to. So we're going to do a move. So move or fire, right? Or fire or move. So move 1, 2, 3. He's following the trail here. So let me make sure, double check for the following a trail for artillery. It is going to be artillery pays other terrain in hex or 3 if moving through an overstacked hex, which it's not. So, okay, perfect. So there, he'll stop. So you have the markers for it if you really want to use those. When you only have a couple artillery, you don't really need to use them a lot, but you can if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Up the hill or up the steep slope, I believe would still. It's +5, yeah. So he has to stop there. Okay, down a steep slope might have hurt him too. Oh, he couldn't. Yeah, he can only go to here, and then you have to stop there. Okay. All right, that's it for the artillery phase. Let's go to the chit draw phase. What we got here? First one, Colonel Stuart. See what he can do here. Oh boy. He's lost 1 regiment. He's only got a couple left, and one of them is not very effective. But see what we can do. So, Colonel Stewart's going to go ahead and roll for activation 5. So now, right? So now he's roll above. He rolled above his command rating. So it has to be a limited activation, which means basically he fire combat only, or in this game, fall back if they applies. Remember, fall back is if at least one of the brigade units, so one of the regiments, is in a camp, dot, or headquarters hex, which he is not 55th Illinois anymore, but the 71st Ohio is in a dot hex. So he can do a fallback order, do a fire or fallback. Now, I would say he doesn't want to fall back at this point. So we can try to do just a fire combat, see what happens. So 71st Ohio here, I believe, though, actually, now that I think about it, hang on, he may not be able to issue. So Union, 71st Ohio. Again, this is a scenario rule, special rule. May not voluntarily engage. Oh, okay, so he can't engage, but he's going to fire. That's not engaging. So he can fire, he can maneuver. Well, he can't right now because we're under limited order, but he will fire at the Rebs here and see what happens. Okay, so he's going to fire here. It's a range of 2. He is a rifled musket, so that'll be half his SP, so only 5. He's along the line of the hex side here, but according to Shiloh, you take the lesser of the 2. So you have woods, which would be, well, block line of sight, but then you have clear, so it's open. So he's going to have clear line of sight. Would it be obscured? I'm not sure. We're going to play it clear because that's what I want to do, but I think it might be obscured, but that's okay. Someone comment below for sure. So, all right. He's going to be firing. Let's check. So target is in clear terrain. Uh-oh, for the Rebs. Uh-oh. No other modifiers that I can see. Dun, dun, dun. So, I think it's going to be a straight on the 5. So, give it a roll, see what happens. He does have a... No, he's not supported. So, he has a 3 cohesion rating. All right, 42 on 5 is a 1 through 3. That's what he has. So, he's going to suffer a routine test. So 34, the 3 is nothing, the 4 is retreat 1, so he's going to get pushed back by the fire from the 71st Ohio. Good job, Union, holding them back, or pushing them back, I should say. Not bad at all. All right, Colonel Stuart, was that it? That all he did? I believe that was it, huh? Yeah, because it was just the limited activation, just a fire combat, so. All right. Next chit. Firefight. So remember, this is one where if they're close enough to fire, or they can hold it, thinking they're going to hold it. So set that aside. All right. Shit is command confusion. Ooh. So command confusion. And it is using this scenario. All right. So we're going to roll it. Hold this chit to be played after the opposing player announces the brigade order. Then you play it, and then you roll to see what the order is going to be. Beautiful. That could really, really help the Union here. So on the next shit. Fog of War. So go ahead and roll on the Fog of War table. A 4. Low ammo Union unit. The Confederate player places a low ammo mark on any Union unit that doesn't already have one. Ooh, I like that one. Who should we place it on? Well, as soon as we get a shot on him, he'll be pushed back. Maybe we'll do it on 55th Illinois anyway. Yeah, I think we'll do it on 55th Illinois. All right, so we'll go ahead and put it on the 55th Illinois here. Sorry, buddy. Beautiful. All right, Fog of War, get rid of that. And keep drawing. Withers, here we go. First time, right? First activation. Yep, it is. So let's roll. 4, so that is successful. So it's a full activation. Let's go ahead and... So the Union one, what is it? When does it kick in again? You know, I played this game a million times. Not this one necessarily, but... play this shit and apply the brigade order after the opposing player announces the brigade order. So, well, it doesn't really matter, actually. I guess it depends on which one we pick. So, for the rebels here, they're going to go ahead and start moving up. They'll do Chalmers. So, select Chalmers brigade to activate. Oh, hang on, says the Union. Command confusion. Oh, no, what's going to happen? Well, let's roll and find out. It's going to be a attack order, or is it? Command confusion. Let's roll right here. A 3. Activated brigade is under a defend order. Oh, that's too bad. So defend order, they can engage. They can engage in fire combat. Just no close combat. Also less movement points, which does suck. So let's see what we do here. So he will move 2. This will take 2 movement points in here. He only has 4, by the way. So 4 for the defend order. That's 4. Excuse me, that's 2. Excuse me, because he moves 1 and then 2 because it's a dot. So that's cost 2. And then he will do 3, 4 here. Stop there. And yes, he could have done fire combat, but there's no units in range, so he could not have done that, actually. So, no. 1, 2, stop there. 1, 2, 3, stop there. And he will do 1, 2, and stop there. Definitely gummed up the works a little bit here. So, but the rebels are starting to capture victory point areas, so we will see what happens. Is that it for him? I think it is it. Okay. All right, so Withers will go back in the cup. And what was that? We did Chalmers, so Chalmers will just show he's activated. All right, on to the next one. And Rally. Yeah, might as well. We got one left, right? Let's go ahead and rally on 10th Mississippi. Get rid of that shaken marker. And finally, the last one, of course, is dun-dun-dun, big surprise. Withers again. Full activation. Hopefully. Oh, just did it, baby. All right, so put him down here. Obviously, I'll activate Jackson's brigade. Let's go ahead and give Jackson's brigade a attack order. And so he will move. Let's see. Well, first off, any fire combat do we want to do? No, I can't see him. I don't think you can see him. No, with the line of sight should block it, so no. So this is going to go to the movement step. He'll move here. He will move here. The one hex I'm not even counting because I know he can do that. He will move here, which is 2. 1, 2. And then there'd be 3, 4, 5 here. Yep. He will move here. Well, actually, he'll move up into the camp here, which he has to stop moving. So as soon as you enter a camp hex, you have to stop moving. So he will stop moving there. He captures the camp. Basically, remember, from the Battle of Shiloh, the rebels, they're starving. You know, they want things, whatever. They're running these camps. They see food, they see trinkets, they see maybe leftover weapons, whatever it is, right? Camp supplies. They just start grabbing stuff up. That's what they did historically. So in this game, you enter camp hex, you have to stop moving. Dot hexes are just add additional movement. Actual camp hex is what you have to stop at. So, all right, that's it for them. Yep, I believe that'll be it. And then we have the firefight chit left, so any held chits, right, you can play at the end. So we're going to go ahead and play that, which will do a firefight. Let's do Jackson's 19th Alabama, shooting at the 71st Ohio. So it'll be 10. Where is it? What's he sitting in? He's sitting in the woods here. So target's in woods, so the 10 to 11 becomes 6 to 7. I believe that'll be it, though. 6 to 7. Yep. So 51 on a 6 to 7. A 51 is going to be 0 to 1 will be tough, and he is unsupported, so it's going to be a tough fire combat test. 46, so he is depleted, and he has to take 2 morale hits and retreat 2. However, by the scenario rules, any type of negative combat result, they are permanently removed from the game. So the 71st Ohio will go ahead and flee the battle, which they did historically. Sorry, fellas, you gotta go. Let's just set it over there for now. Okay, I think that's it though, huh? Yep, that's it for chits. No more chits. So end phase again. No rec brigades. They don't use that in a scenario. We already did the final held event chit. No victory points. That's not how it works. We're going to flip over activated brigade markers, broken track adjustment, and then everyone gathers chits together, and we'll go on to the last turn 3 of 3, the 12 p.m. turn of this scenario. All right, so like I said, last turn, 12 o'clock turn of this scenario. Command decision phase, got to draw a couple all set up, done. Artillery phase, Union artillery, except they're not activated. In fact, the way I've played it now, I have outsmarted the scenario rules, and the Union will not be able to activate this whole fresh brigade at all this scenario. So let's see if what's left of Stuart's brigade, which is literally the 55th Illinois, can hold off all these Confederates. Okay. Confederate artillery, they have 2 left. However, I'm looking at the line of sight, and I just don't see Line of sight's going to be blocked here because that is 5 and this is 4. So that's going to block line of sight. This ridge here, right, blocks line of sight. Federal artillery can't even reach any of the Union. Which the 55th Illinois is the only regiment they want to fire at. So basically, I'll mark them off as done, but I could try to move, but it's just gonna, it's the last turn of the game, so it doesn't matter. So we'll leave them as is. All right, on to the chit draw phase. Let's see what happens. All right, first off, a rally. Can a rally be used to remove a low ammo? I believe it can in this game. Remove all shaken, disrupted, or remove all low ammo markers from each unit in a single hex. So Union will select, obviously, 55th Illinois hex and remove the low ammo there. All right, next chit. Colonel Stuart. Okay, here we go. See what they can do here. So, roll for activation. A 1, perfect. They can do a full activation. Union's they want to try to hold the headquarters. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna give 55th Illinois a attack order and send him in. So for actual fire combat, he could shoot at the 7th Mississippi. I think he can. He can. So fire combat here, range 2. So that drops his SPs to 4. So it's 50%, right? Target is in clear terrain. However, he's fighting through an orchard. It's a -1. So the 4 becomes a 3. And then I believe that's it. So on 3. Oh, beautiful. 61. Oh, that's going to hurt. So the 7th Mississippi is going to suffer a routine. And 13, the 1 is nothing. The 3 is a retreat 1. So he will have to retreat 1 hex. Hey, that'll help. That'll do something at least. Movement, yep. Stuart is going to go ahead and move back into the Union headquarters. Basically try to secure it, try to hold it. And he could do a close combat here if he was crazy. If he's not going to do that. He's going to try to just hold the Union headquarters position. So that's it. All right, that's it for Colonel Stuart. Next chit is Withers. Here we go. Activation. It's 5, so he gets full activation. He will give a attack order to Jackson's brigade. So, fire combat. We're definitely going to have one right here. Jackson's going to fire at 55th Illinois here with 10 SPs. Target's in wood, so that drops to 6 to 7. No other modifiers. So, 6 to 7. 62. That's not good news for the Union. Oh, 62. Holy cow. 6 to 7 on a 62. He's going to have a tough fire combat cohesion test. 46. So he is depleted. And he takes 2 morale hits. And he has to retreat 2. So he is depleted. Takes 2 morale hits. So he is disrupted. And he has to retreat 2. So he will go ahead and retreat and join MacArthur's 12th Illinois. All right, that was it for the fire combat that I'm looking at. I have no other ones we want or can have. So movement. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and everyone's going to start moving into the positions here. So he will move here, take control of that camp. So 17th Alabama. 18th Alabama will move here. 19th Alabama will move here, take over the Union headquarters. Dun-dun-dun, captured by the Rebs. And 2nd Texas will move there, take over this camp. Wow. I believe that's going to be it for the game. So, because, looking in here, well, I guess it's Fog of War, but I don't think it's going to do anything. So, we'll put Withers back in because he has the 1 left. But I believe, so Withers again. Activate him. 6. That's actually limited activations. Actually, they're lucky. The elves are lucky because fire combat and that's it. Otherwise, they can't do anything else. So that'll be it for old Withers. And Chalmers. Do a firefight. There's no need to. By the way, yes, the Rebs are now within 2 hexes. So what you would do is once you are within 2 hexes, you would remove the no activation, right, off MacArthur's brigade. And you would place Wallace on the turn track for the next turn. However, this is the last turn of the scenario, so that's not going to happen. It's just not going to, there's no effect basically on it. So ignore the firefight. Can't do it, / won't do it. Fog of War. You can roll in Fog of War table, just see what happens, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there'll be something to happen. A 5, low ammo, Confederate unit. Gee, who should they pick? They'll pick the 17th Alabama because they're the strongest. And then artillery, line of sight, which I think just allows a pick a single artillery unit to fire at full strength, bypass woods. Basically, they can ignore like woods, I think, for line of sight. Not over woods that it's traced from or into. Yep. And that is it. So, done with brigade activation phase. End phase. No event, no rec brigade step, no final held event shit step. Victory points done, markers, all that. Boom. We go to the end. So now we are going to check the victory points for the scenario. I'm very, very confident the Rebs won this one. So let's take a look at it. So, victory determination. Side of controls, allows to occupy or move an infantry unit through the following hex of learn VP as follows. So, Sarah Battlefield Crossroads, hex 1911, is right over here. Boom. So the Union has that. So they gain 2 victory points from that. So put the Union VPs at 2. The Union Brigade Headquarters, hex 2109, which was right here. No, right there. That is 1 VPs for the Rebs. Larkin Battlefield Crossroads, 2307, which is right here, right there. 1 for the Rebs, so now they are tied with the Union at 2. Crossroads, 2110, is right here. So that is 1 VP. So the Rebs go up to 3. And then each camp hex retained by the Union, which 2308, 2209 right here, and then 2111 right here, would be half a victory point for the Union. However, Confederates do not gain VPs for the camp hexes. So even though they took control of them, they just prevented the Union from gaining any of them. Also, each side gets 1 VP for each enemy infantry or artillery unit eliminated or on the broken track at the end of the game, which obviously 54th Ohio was eliminated, so that'll be another full VP. And then half a point for each depleted unit still on the map, I believe. Yep, there's 1 there. So that is a 1.5, so it puts it at 4.5, Rebs at 4.5. No VP for the 71st Ohio being eliminated or depleted, even though I feel like it should count, but because I did deplete them before they were driven from the battlefield, but whatever. The end of play, subtract the Union VPs from the Confederate VPs. So 4.5 minus 2 becomes 2.5. If the result is greater than 1, the Confederates win. If less than 1, the Union wins. If exactly 1, the result is a draw. It is 2.5. It's greater than 1. Therefore, the Rebels win. They have pushed back the Union left flank at the Battle of Shiloh, and they are now threatening Pittsburgh Landing and threatening to completely disrupt the Union Army and possibly carry the day, unlike historically. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that playthrough. Did I probably make some mistakes, mess up some line of sight here and there? Yes, and I don't care. I mean, I care, and feel free to point it out. I always want to make sure people are playing the game correctly, but I love Blind Swords. I love these games. Having a good time with this one. I will have a full review up probably shortly, so I'll probably have this video go up. So once you're watching this, maybe within, call it 3-4 days. No promises, but should be. I'll review up. I'll kind of cover this system, cover the game, not this scenario specifically, but the entire game. What I like, what I'm maybe a little frustrated by, and yeah, we'll have fun with it. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed me playing through even this small scenario, seeing a little bit of the wrinkles of Shiloh the first day, some of the unique rules. Even if they didn't apply, I tried to explain them. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Other than that, always appreciate a subscription. It's free. Click the subscribe button. You don't have to watch all my videos, just the ones you like, but getting more subscriptions really helps me to get more games to show off to you guys. So until next time, everybody, later.